Hey, what's up, Rose? It's been a long time. Been a long time. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? We're just doing some game development, and I am trying to utilize all the momentum from all the success I've gotten. I don't know if you've been here in the past 4 months, but I got my big surgery. But I'm ready to move the fuck on and get on with my life, and here we go. You're looking at it. This is my world. I think it might be profitable one day, but more than that, it's already profitable because I love doing this shit. I feel like I could just focus on shit now. Like, you know, gender dysphoria is not ruling my life anymore. It's taken 20 years now. Took a 20 fucking years to get where I am right now. So I'm gonna make the best out of it. Just situate my mic. Just a second. It's annoying. I'm in a weird setup right now. I'm at my mom's and I'm just taking a break from my toxic environment that I live in that you are probably aware of. Taking a break from that and visiting my mom, and it's a really healthy environment. I feel better. I'm doing better. Unfortunately, it's really far away from all the resources that I have, so I'm going to be going back in August, probably towards, because I got to get all my medications, and yeah, I'm really happy. I've been really kind of oversharing the past couple of years, and that's not good. I mean, it's how I processed everything, so that's kind of just how it went. These are all library files. I'm trying to look for the project files. Okay, so these are all in the, because I don't need to find all the ones that are in the library itself. I want to look at the ones that are utilizing Binzer. Yeah, let's. But basically, or Bitzer, Binzer and Bitzer. Okay. Yeah, here. Okay, it's in the tutorial code for it. Okay, oh no, it's in main. Okay, here we go. Not just in the libraries. Okay, here we go. So it requires the Binzer library in the main. Oops. Yeah. Send data to server. Oh, it's time start days. Okay. Yeah, basically, it's really nice to get away and kind of treat this as a vacation. Yeah, I have a lot of things going for me, and my modeling career is going to slowly take off too. I'm getting some resources. I got connected to some resources I never had before, and it's an organization that specifically helps autistic or kids and adults for life with developmental disorders, and I'm a client for life. Okay, so I don't have to worry about any time limits or like, oh, you know, we tried to help you within a couple months, but you know, time's up. You know, like, no, it's not like that. They're going to be able to help me for the rest of my life to achieve whatever projects I have, to to maintain gainful employment, to have a healthy, happy life, to have good relationships, to have housing. There's only so much I can do with so little income. So we're gonna get some job coaching for me. I have a team of people now, and my case manager is finding people that can directly help with me achieving my goal, especially as a model, which is really non-standard as far as employment goes. They can help with most like standard employment, but like, so maybe they can help me get some computer programming gigs, but I need to actually learn how to do it. But honestly, I feel like I can learn on the job. but I need access to resources. And I know people are cringe about DEI and all those kind of things. I'm autistic and I'm trans. I'm going to use all the fucking resources I can, and if that's an advantage, always be cheating, you know, always be exploiting, you know, always be closing, right? Always be cheating. And if I can cheat because of my demographic, because I'm female, because I'm autistic, because I'm trans female, because I'm low income, because I'm in like a trailer park, like whatever, you know, I don't care if it's DEI initiative. I don't care how my foot gets in the door. I know for a fact that once I'm given opportunities, I can prove myself. So I don't care if it's a DEI. I'm gonna change people's minds about me. If people are gonna be weird because it's like, oh yeah, this person only got the job because she's autistic or trans or whatever, I'm like, okay, well, leave your emotions at the door. Let's get to fucking work. You know? I don't care what people's opinions are about me. I'm gonna prove myself. But yeah, you know, I have to actually prove myself for that to work, so... Okay, what is it? What is this in the README? Okay. What is this? Tiny output? Snappier? Unfriendlier? Okay, so bits there. Here we go, Lure, okay. Okay, insert error, select pairs. Meta table. Yeah, things are gonna really work out. Things are really gonna work out. I just have to give it time. And, you know, I do have to go back to California for my medications and for my resources, but so unfortunately for now, I can't really do much here. There's some, you know, it's a good place here, but I can't really work here. I mean, I can do this kind of stuff, but I can't work. Like, let's be real, I can't really work here. It's a better place to film and stream, but the walls are too thin. I can't talk as loudly as I want. I can't make all my jokes, so I can't really make content here. I can try, but I'm just not really mentally there, to be honest. I'm not really mentally in content creation mindset at the moment. When I get back to my dad's, I'm gonna be laser focused as I can to getting the hell out of there. I don't know how long it's going to take, but doing game development and computer programming, that might be a huge step forward, especially with the resources I have with job coaching and having new resources in the form of, if you were disabled and you have these kind of resources, they can open doors for you. Like I'm saying, like DEI can help me. I don't really care what other people think about it, because if it's going to help me get out of that fucking trailer park, well then fuck everybody who doesn't support me. Because I don't care. Because if it comes down to me trying to get a gainful employment, and not just like a Burger King or some shit, like an actual job. Like an actual job. Like, I would need multiple college degrees. I would need to be able to do hundreds of job interviews, and you don't get paid for that. I can't do that shit. I need doors opened for me, and I can learn on the job, especially with computers. Especially with computers. Programming, like, don't care how bad I am. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do the work, and I take direction really well. I love working with people. But convince somebody to give you a job, that's not something I'm very good at. I could learn, but if my livelihood depends on me being able to do it, that's way too much pressure. I need to have doors open for me. Yeah, content creation is really hard. I can do it, but succeeding is different than doing it. I can succeed in my niche, but I can't. I have a lot of stuff to process since the surgery. I have a lot of stuff to process. I'm not ready to go back to work. And my therapist agrees. Everybody on my team, my medical team, and my personal, mental health team, and my new resources that's helping me with all these resources. Everybody seems to think that I have a good head on my shoulders and that I'm approaching things from a very healthy way. So I must be doing something right if medical professionals agree with me. But, I'm glad you're here and you've been here. It's like, it's good that I have people rooting for me, even strangers like you, having little pixels on my screen with, people that who don't even know who I am, don't know me in real life, but can still relate to me and understand me. And I hope that I can inspire people to do better too. I feel like that's what all this is all about. And I don't know, I just feel like I can't imagine a life now where I'm not a content creator. And I can do a lot of different things for employment. Like, this isn't about employment. This isn't about income either. This is just what I do, even if I'm just looking at computer code. I'm glad to document and, the learning process, the workflow, and getting feedback. Because imagine if somebody came into the stream and they're, a professional computer programmer or game developer. And what if that person could, what if that person decided to offer me some advice? Or help me learn, or work with me even. Maybe even get a job. You never know. I'm not counting on that, but if I wasn't streaming my workflow, I wouldn't learn how to spot my mistakes. I gotta keep myself honest. I don't have that kind of viewership, but that's kind of why I want to do this. It's kind of why I stream, is it gets me outside of my own head. I could obviously, just not care what other people think and just do my own thing, but that hasn't really worked for me. And so what's worked for me is taking outside support, keeping myself honest, and then gathering information and then doing better. And so I need to keep doing that, especially when I get into computer programming. Because this stuff is not something you can do alone, and a lot of people out there might have a huge ego, but you need to leave your ego at the fucking door. Okay, because this shit is even this game, I'm going to show you the game really quick. Oh, wait. This game is not insanely complicated, but just looking at the code, this game is way more complicated, for me at least, than anything I've ever seen, for how simple it looks. And I think this is really working on this project just a little bit every day, just kind of working on it. Maybe even make eventually, once I fix all the stuff that I see that's kind of glitchy and broken, because I'm trying to fix the skill tree. The skill tree is the main focus of the game. This gameplay obviously is really solid. Maybe there could be adjustments to make it more fun or whatever, but I think the gameplay itself is pretty solid. I don't think I need to do anything to fix this. I think the original developer did enough. to design the game itself, but the skill tree is like what the developer set out to do. Made it like a Path of Exile style skill tree, and I'll show you after in a little bit. And collecting SP and stuff. It doesn't really matter, but like, if I just go back to console, if I go to the passive skill tree, this is like a Path of Exile style skill tree that's really glitched out. It's really glitched out. Like when I zoom in, it's really glitched out. It's really slow and clunky zoom in, but that's more of a quality of life thing. There's actual problems, such as if I just click here, it'll delete it. And you don't get the points back. And there's no confirmation. It'd be one thing if I don't think that's a good idea to just not give you the points back. Like there should be a way to reset all your points and without just deleting it. And I think it's just really kind of clunky. And it's not really obvious, like you can only have 80 nodes. But, you know, so basically, in order to get it, like, if you wanted to go way over here, you'd have to go over here first, delete everything that you did before, and then build again, and you just have to grind way too many points. There should be a way to reset all your points or change your starting position. Like, there's all these sorts of things that would make this way less clunky. Yeah, the art style is cool, too, but... you know, maybe even eventually I could, you know, fork this game into a completely new game and make my own artwork for it. Like, you know, I kind of like the artwork, but like, imagine if I could use that as a template and make like highly rendered artwork, or pay somebody to do highly rendered artwork. Rather, probably. Or find somebody who wants to work with me to make a new game of some sort. And I do have a long-term project. I'm calling it Sagavania for now, and if you, I need to kind of show you Saga series explanation of leveling system. I want to use the Saga, not Saga Frontier 2. Saga Fantasy Legend. Not Final Fantasy 1. Oh god, Final Fantasy Legend. Okay,
Damn good cop.
okay, so your performance battle determined by numerical values of 4 categories. Range of 1 to 9, strength, effectiveness, physical attack. Okay, out of their class, okay. Razor sticks through items, grant permanence bonus. Mutant attributes are increased by random increments after battles. Eat meat, like, basically, I think a better, I think Final Fantasy 2 is, Fantasy 2 leveling system explanation. Instead of relying on jobs, the game offers a stats, weapons, and spells leveling system. Instead of individual characters earning experience by finishing battles, this system grants each party member stats, weapons, and spells their own experience bar. Also, another one would be Skyrim's stats system. How to level. Based on leveling on individual skills. And so I want to make a Metroidvania that's completely all about... let me just... wait, can I... I think this is only for doing like artwork and stuff. I'm not really sure. Godot, oh, script. Here we go. New text file. Game design. Oh, let's just call it README. So, basically, Saga Vania, working title, is all about having a skill tree for every single weapon, armor, and item type, as well as abilities activated through pet synergy. There's a pet system. So let's say example, so you have, let's say this is your character screen, and then you have equipment, and so you have okay, let's say you have a weapon, you have helm, or I guess like just so two separate ones. So you have offensive and defensive, and then you have pet weapon, or you also have like some kind of relic that goes with your weapon, right? Okay, so then you have defensive, so you have like, you know, the standard stuff. So you got head, body, oops, arms, or I guess hands. Yep. You got legs, and you got feet, and you have like L ring, right ring, let's just say like left earring and right earring, and then you have neck, right? All the standard stuff, right? You have a skill tree for each of these slots. You have a skill tree for each of these slots. But not only that, so skill tree for the slot. And item skill tree. So you have two different skill trees. So you not only do you have a skill tree specifically for your head, so no matter what you put there, any head armor you put on is going to be different than armor that you, let's say you trade with your friend online, right? Like let's say you, because there's, you know, I kind of want to make it kind of like how Pokemon allows you to trade stuff. Like I want to have like make it kind of like an MMO Metroidvania. Basically, what you're going to do is you have, let's say you have, so you have like a weapon, skill tree for slot, and a skill tree for item, for weapon. Armor, skill tree, weapon, skill tree. Slot tree. Cheat. Okay. Yeah, so the individual relic that you can unequip and it maintains it, right? So you could level up a weapon, and if you're done leveling that one up and you need a different one in order to defeat a certain boss, you might maintain all your slot for your weapon, but if you equip a weapon that's under leveled, you need to go back and level it. So basically, the game has like infinite replayability, and you can trade weapons with people, but you can't trade your slots trees. And it's not going to be easy to reset them, so you have to be really careful while you're leveling it. Like, you have to like use some item to reset a tree. You don't want to do so lightly, right? There has to be checks and balances, and there has to be difficulty. Otherwise, it won't really be that fun. Slot skill tree and pet skill tree. So it's going to be like Pokemon, kind of, too. You're going to have a pet, and depending on which pet you use, it'll give you different abilities, kind of like in an MMO. So basically, you're making your own class. You're making your own class. But you can customize it to such a degree. Every single slot has something to customize. And that's going to take a long time to, you know, balance, but this is the game I want to make. There is literally no Metroidvania out here that fills this niche. There is literally no Metroidvania I can think of. I don't think it exists. That's why I want to make it, because it doesn't exist, and I want it to. Okay, so here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what I want to do. This is the entirety of the game, really. So your relic is obviously, like in Castlevania, you have like a dagger, you have an axe, etc., etc. So you can actually build up your base relic system. Like, do you want to focus on doing AoE? Do you want to do projectiles? Do you want, like, you can skill those things up on the relic skill tree. And there's going to be stuff that will affect every relic, kind of like how what is it, in Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, you had different, I want to basically expand that system to the max. What would we do if there was Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, where you can have different, was it Harmony of Dissonance, or was it, what's the one that was the first Game Boy Advance? Circle of the Moon. Which one was it where it's like, I think it was Harmony of Dissonance. Depending on which, like, thing that you equipped, yeah, it was Harmony of Dissonance. It would affect the relic weapon item differently. So, depending on which, like, you could make it into, like, fire, or you can make it into, like, do, like, a certain, like, there's going to be different animations that'll hit hitboxes very differently. And all of this is obviously all fun and games and stuff for the casual, like, kind of main storyline quest. But I also want to do PvP system where you're going to be able to fight one-on-one with another player in an arena that's ranked. And so that's really where the game is going to come into action, where all of this is really going to matter. You can build all this up in the main game, and there's also going to be a dungeon, like a random dungeon generator, so you could farm shit. And depending on which difficulty setting you have, you know, all sorts of fun stuff is what I'm planning for this game. And then obviously you have a pet weapon. So let me, I guess, let's just say pet. Or I guess you could call it something like a familiar. Right? Yeah, so you're gonna have a pet, like a familiar. And you can actually capture those, like, probably, like, I would say every single monster you fight in the game could be captured. Maybe some are rarer than others to capture, or even just don't even spawn that often. So that's gonna be, and that's kind of like Castlevania, like, so this is more like, think, like in Castlevania Aria Sara. Right? And this is like Harmony of Dissonance. And this, honestly, this is gonna be like World of Warcraft. Because this is where you're gonna customize your abilities for, like, your melee attacks and your abilities. Your pet will augment that. Everything has a skill tree. Period. Okay, and yeah, there's also items. So, like, potions, etc. all have a skill tree. So if you use a potion, it will have different effects depending on how you build your character stats, character trees. Yeah, so, like, you can make, maybe your character specializes in regen, right? Potions, for example, could specialize in either AoE, like single burst healing, AoE, AoE healing, providing aura, regen, or even like stat boosts, etc. Like just all sorts of different stuff that you could specialize, right? You have to build it yourself, and once you build it, you can't just change it on the fly. So you have to decide as you're building your character who you want your character to be as you go. And if you change your mind, there has to be a way to reset everything, but there has to be a cost of some sort. Maybe that's a good way to do microtransactions. Yeah, have people pay for resets. I mean, hey, I mean, if it works, it works. I mean, or you should be able to obtain the items in game. Everything should be able to be obtained in game, period. I am completely against, like, gatekeeping. I'm against gatekeeping in general, but at the same time, obviously, if you don't want to go grind an item to reset your points, then people should have the option to just speed it, you know, to like boost it, right? So that's a good way to monetize. Because this game is specifically about skill trees. I'm betting there's a lot of people who are willing to spend like $1 to reset their skill tree. And they can probably do it like multiple times a month. Like, I mean, imagine if you're like a streamer, for example. Like, I'm sure Asmongold would have no problem resetting like multiple times, right? Because he would just want to play the fucking game. He doesn't want to go grind some stupid shit, right? But a normal player would be like, fuck, I don't need to spend $1 for reset. I can just go farm this item, skill up my... And you'll even make your character better, because not only are you farming the item, you're also skilling up your other stuff. So honestly, grinders are going to get rewarded way more than pay-to-winners. I want to incentivize actually playing the game. Because if people play the game and it's better than doing boosting, then there you go. It'll make all the people who want to play the game happy and people who are sick and tired of pay to win, but it'll also appease the people who just want to do things really quickly and test shit out. They don't really want to grind just to test a build or whatever. And then, interestingly, the people who are who would affect the least, the people who do that would be the people who set the meta, right? Because those people would be figuring out what all the best skill trees are. The people who are spending $, to reset skill trees, test them out on stream, see how they do in PvP, and then they go back and reset. And they try new stuff. So it would incentivize streamers who can afford it to set the standard. And, you know, it creates a community. Like, you have people who can afford all this shit, who can do streaming, and, you know, on the web forums and the Reddits and all that kind of stuff. Everybody can come together, not just the grinders, not just the pay to win. Like, everybody benefits, right? I feel like that's a good microtransaction. It's not a pay to win, that's pay for convenience. I think that's a good model for a game like this, where grinding is going to reward you much more. Yeah, so these would be like World of Warcraft style rotation abilities for your weapon. And like the skill tree itself for each weapon is like the stats, right? So the slot, like, you're gonna have some base stats and abilities just for the slot, but then depending on what you do for the slot, it's gonna change. Like, if you wear a sword but you have like a certain slot tree That's like, let's say you want to do more AoE damage. Then when you have a sword, it's like, it does a lot, like you want to do more like distance, or you want to do like more like a circle. Like, so it would change how your weapon works depending on like what your specialization is, and depending on like, and you get abilities, so like depending on how you do your abilities, it's going to affect each weapon differently. Like a sword, or a boomerang, or like a bow and arrow, or like a gun, or a like some kind of plasma blaster like Mega Man. Like, there's so many different options. I want to make this like basically every single one of my favorite platform games that I've played my entire life, like Mario, Mega Man, Castlevania, like Metroid. I want to make it all into one single game. Collect every single one of my life experiences playing these games and make like the most badass fucking Metroidvania anybody has ever played. But you know, this is a long-term project and I'm not going to be able to do it alone. And for now, I want to specialize, and since this game is literally going to be all about skill trees, like the Path of Exile style, Path of Exile style skill trees. What this game is about. This game is all about Path of Exile style skill trees. Period. Okay, yeah, this game's all about Path of Exile skill trees. And all the Path of Exile nerds, this is the game for you if you like playing Castlevania.
Back to my home, sweet home.
And farming for, you know, because there's going to be not just, in order to, you're going to have to find special items in the game to skill up different slots in different nodes. So you're going to have to actually go searching for treasure. You're going to have to complete certain in-game objectives. You're going to have to trade with other players for very rare skill tree slots. So it's going to incentivize not just playing single player as well. Those are probably only going to be related to PvP, so there's going to be specific PvP skill trees that affect either, like, let's say 2v2, right? So like, what if you could have aura effects, right, that give your partner in PvP specific advantages that you can synergize with whatever their skill tree is. So that would incentivize multiplayer play. Obviously for ranked PvP, there's going to be a completely different rank for every single type of PvP, like so single, 1v1, 2v2, etc. There's also going to be so like 1v1, 2v different ranked ladders for each mode. So you have 1v1, so you have arena, and then within that you have 2v2. I think anything more than, you know, like you also have 1v3. You could do 1v3. And there's got to be a different system for each of those, right? And there's also oh, it's just multiplayer. PvP arena. PvP dungeons. Collect Like for example, like excavate, excavation, find, find all the treasure before your opponent, before the other players. And these are all gonna be like randomly generated dungeons that are really large. So basically you're gonna have all different starting points, and you're gonna have to, like, there's PvP, but there's also, you have to compete for treasure, right? So you might want to stay out of each other's way and have like a mutual agreement that, hey, like, I just want items. Are you know, can we play cooperatively? And that's more of a social thing, but it's definitely going to have, it's definitely PvP. And I don't know whether the dungeons are instanced or whether there's perpetual dungeons in the multiplayer mode. That could be decided, you know, when the time comes that this gets made. Or maybe have both, like maybe have like instance dungeons as a separate mode, and then also have just maybe just have like a game that's always multiplayer, where there's PvP zones like in World of Warcraft, and you know, basically, like, I guess like MapleStory. But like, I don't even know how MapleStory works, and we're not going to get into that rabbit hole. Okay, not at this time. I might have to pull what the good things from MapleStory are, and leave all the bad shit, because I've heard a lot of terrible shit about MapleStory. We're not even going to go there. We're going to go a different direction. I want to make like a Castlevania MMO, basically, or a Metroidvania MMO. Yeah, that's basically it. Let's put this away for now. I was just kind of explaining. I think we got good work on this. Putting it into a formal document. Now we're going to look at some code for this project, BYTEPATH. Like, I'm still trying to learn. Like, I just need to look at all the different libraries that we're using. Like, this is all inputs. See, it's just all laid out. This is just boy pushy. Yeah, it just defines all the different input functions. Okay, so if you need to do multiplayer for then, yeah, key pressed, key released, mouse pressed, game. Okay, yeah, it's just the different status within an array. Callbacks for underscore, F and I pairs, do old functions, F. Love F. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking for a bit and just kind of jam out with some music. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hey, what's up, Mike? Just looking at some code, trying to understand Lua and all these different libraries. Just trying to understand all these different libraries and just overviewing all the libraries that are used. I think this is for like, yeah, like screen shake and shit. Like camera movement. How to implement a camera shake effect. X-axis, Y-axis. Let's do 120 hits. It's faster. Okay, 240. Okay, let's do 60. No, 60. Let's do. Oh! Oh! Ah! Whoa! Yeah, this is like... Oh, you're working on a gaming project? Yeah, I got my own that we kind of worked on a little bit earlier, just to like write a game design document with like ideas, and basically I was talking about how I wanted to make like a Metroidvania that where every single element of the game, your weapons, your armors, your relics, your like your pet even, because there's going to be like a Pokemon style pet raising. I'm not a professional, I'm still learning. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by, Rose. It was really good seeing you again. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, basically I want to learn how to use this this game engine. It's called Love. It's just a 2D game engine, and this is the game I'm kind of like working with. It's a game called BYTEPATH. It's like Vampire Survivors style game with a skill tree, and I want to fix the skill tree because the skill tree is very broken. It's just very glitchy. It's very rudimentary. The game itself, the game itself is actually really robust. Like, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's a Vampire Survivors type Danmaku, or, it's like, people say Vampire Survivors because that's like the game everybody knows now. It's like what it's called is a bullet hell. It's called a Danmaku. Basically, you're just moving around. There's a whole bunch of like objects and stuff. This game needs more... If anything, this game needs... because it's mostly just all about, like, boulders and stuff. This game should have like a progression system. I mean, it does, kinda, but it's just like... See, like, there's an enemy right there. There's enemies that move around and shoot. But, like... Right now, it's just, it's a pretty basic, rudimentary game. Maybe that's fine. I don't really want to touch the game at the moment, because it's like, that's more game design. That's more like, you know, philosophy on what the game should be. I don't really want to work on that. I want to work with what the original developer intended. And I feel like that's a good habit to get into without, you know, take my ego out of the equation, stop trying to reinvent the game. Instead, just perfect the game that the person's original vision was trying to do. And I think that's a really good habit to get into. I should leave my ego at the door. But basically it just has a passive skill tree that I really want to, I want to make this better. This is not really that good. Like, it works, but there's no, like, when you spend stuff, it has a confirmation thing, apply 1 skill points, but it doesn't say how much skill points you're going to have left if you were to accept. So, like, let's say I do that, and then let's say I go here, 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 like use all these, right? I do the skill tree, right? 18 points, but how much is that going to leave me with? Yeah, I have to subtract it. See, like, I don't have enough. There's also an issue with, like, it should not allow you to select stuff, for example. If you're out of, if you go over, you see how it already has a system in place. So this is a good news. It already has a system in place that keeps track of how many nodes you have. But if I go over it, there's already a system in place that says that it's over it. It should just not allow you to click it at all. Like, pretty much every skill tree, like Path of Exile, every single... Background's too loud? Oh, sorry about that. I think I have... Is it okay now? It already has a system in place to, like, tell you that you've already selected too much. It should just not allow you to select it at all. Because I can apply the points. It should just, like, you know, not let you allow you to select it. And then also, since it already keeps track of how many skill points, I mean, so this is a good news. Since there's already an in-game, there's already code that tells you, that keeps track of how many skill points you're going to spend. So all I have to do is basically add a second counter here that shows the adjusted, like, temporary, like, how much SP are you going to have left after you apply. I mean, because obviously I could just subtract 1, but since there's already a system in place to keep track of it, why not just keep a little number underneath here that tells you what you're going to have after you spend them. And then how come there's a confirmation dialog for spending them, but there's no confirmation dialog for deleting them? And when it would be one thing if when you deleted them it gave you the points back, but you actually permanently lose the points if you cancel it. So if I just apply it, cancel it, I'm actually losing points like crazy. Like, this is just deleting points for no reason. And that's ridiculous. If there's a confirmation dialog for spending points, there should definitely be a confirmation dialog for deleting nodes. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous. No reason for that. So I really want to, like... I really want to figure out how to work with existing projects. And, you know, Love 2D is pretty robust. I mean, just looking at the gameplay itself, it can do a lot. Like, it can do, like, all this stuff. Like, it can do moving around an object, it can do collision detection, you know, I can do all the stuff with like all these stats. It pretty much, I could probably make any 2D game I ever wanted to 100% like in this engine. Now I need to know what its limits are. What can't it do? But I'm going to try to utilize what's available before I reinvent the wheel. That's basically my philosophy. There's really no reason to have an ego. I think I know better than when there's existing tools already. My understanding is that you should always try to use existing tools before you try to reinvent the wheel. That's my understanding. Because why would you waste all that time and energy? Unless I wanted to learn, which I do, but why not learn the stuff that already... Like, if I wanted to learn, why not learn from the stuff that already exists? Why start from scratch? If I don't know how the existing stuff works, how am I supposed to invent new stuff? So I feel like working with existing engines, existing sets of code, existing libraries, existing APIs, existing programming languages. Like, I don't have to invent a new programming language. I can use like Lua, or I can use C++. I don't need to reinvent an entire computer programming language when there's already plenty that do everything and more that I would need. And instead of having an ego where I'm saying, oh, these people are stupid, I don't want to use that, it's stupid. It's like, is it stupid or are you stupid? That's really the question. I think it's a skill issue. If you can't utilize current existing code sets, that's a skill issue. It's not because they're stupid or oh, I don't like the way they do that. It's like, you know, why don't you learn how they do it? Maybe you're doing it wrong. You know, there's all these things. Yeah, I mean, I want to learn from Rockstar professionals too, you know. That would be so cool. And, you know, I'm getting some resources now that can help me find with like job coaching and employment, because I'm autistic and I have a whole bunch of deficits in employment. And it would be really nice if I could get some help getting at least, you know, contract work. If I can work with people and learn from them without having to go through the whole, you know, obviously there is like an interview process, but it would definitely help if there's also like, you know, some kind of initiative, because it's like, hey, this person is autistic, this person needs accommodations, this person needs more support to be able to maintain employment. And I have permanent disability status, so I have certain rights and accommodations that I don't know what all those are, but I do have certain privileges for being disabled. And hopefully that can help me get my foot in the door and start making a name for myself so that I don't have to rely on those kind of crutches, right? I can get my foot in the door, but I'm not going to rely on that. That's more like some help. You know, everybody needs some help every now and then. Everybody needs help. And if I can have it, if I have access to it, then, you know, that can help me succeed, which can get me out of the trailer park. So I'm still trying to understand like what is actually going on and how this code works. I guess just reading code, reading the libraries, like what libraries are being used. So it uses font, uses main canvas, uses final canvas, temp canvas, glitch canvas. Like where's main canvas? Oh, it uses love.graphics. So okay, yeah. So let's look at graphics. Where is that? Where is that? Okay, so it's in graphics and in Binser. Okay, so graphics. Okay, so it's in Bitzer. Okay. It's a love. So it is a love, let me open up the love wiki. Graphics. Okay, here we go. Canvas, drawable font, frame buffer, image. I think just looking at code and looking at the API docs, I think that's really, just do a little bit every day. Try to understand it. Don't beat myself up for not getting it right away. I am new to this process. I've never committed to it. It takes time. It's probably going to take me several weeks just to understand all the libraries that are being used. I need to stop expecting so much so fast.
The y-axis is vertical, larger values are further towards the bottom. It is worth noting that the location, 0, 0, aligns with the upper left corner of the pixel as well, meaning that for some functions you may encounter off by 1 problems in the render output when drawing 1 pixel wide lines. You can try aligning the coordinate system with the center of pixels rather than their upper left corner. Do this by passing x plus 0.5 and y plus 0.5 or using love, graphics. Translate. Do this by passing x plus 0.5 and y. A note about angles in love. Angles are expressed in terms
you said Rockstar Games, I thought when you said Rockstar Professionals, I thought you meant just professional game developers. I like they're like super developers. I thought you meant like as an adjective. I didn't think you meant literally from Rockstar Games. Okay, gotcha, Mike Hawk. Interestingly enough, this is the only graphics that the game actually uses. Everything else is rendered in Love. That's fascinating. There are shaders. That's fascinating as fuck. This is the only actual external graphics that are used in this game, BYTEPATH. That's crazy. That's crazy. Everything is actually rendered in engine. I mean, granted, it's just literally at just lines, but they pull it off. I think it has like a really kind of cozy style. I'm gonna be right back for a few minutes or something.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Officially gotten up and walked around. Oh. Okay. Officially gotten up, walked around, and I have my millennial ass with some avocado toast. Okay? My millennial ass. And we're gonna try to understand what the fuck is going on. How the fuck do we even make a game? How does this game work? Like, how do you even get this to do this? Like, how do you even get this game to do what it's doing? I don't even know. Like, how does all this even work? We're gonna figure this shit out. Might take a while. Might take several weeks worth of streams. But we're gonna figure it out. And one day it's gonna kind of click. Sorry, I didn't even realize I wasn't showing the display. Holy shit. Hey, what's up, Rudy? What's up, Rudy? We're just going through some code in this game, that somebody made 4 years ago. I don't think that was actually, this is the main, okay. What the fuck? I think I need to close this. Okay. Let's just, okay, and this, what the hell's going on? Cthulhu? What the fuck? What happened? How did I break it? Oh, maybe this. Okay. What the fuck is going on? Well, now I'm having problems. I don't know what I did. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was just like this game. I'm trying to understand how it works. Going through the code. It's written in Love 2D, which is a game engine for making 2D games. Seems pretty straightforward, but it's actually, for me, since I am stupid as far as how game development works and how computer programming works, because I've been doing this my whole life. I go through this cycle of reading and trying to understand computer programming, but never really doing anything but tutorials since I was like 14, and it's been about 22 years of just on and off trying to understand computer programming, but never really getting it. I understand how all the tools work. I know how to compile shit. I know how to, like, you know, gather libraries and that stuff. I don't know how to actually make stuff work. And I think just trial and error, reading lots of code, going through different people's projects, and, you know, fixing some stuff. Honestly, that's like what people do, like, for a living. I should probably just do that instead of, you know, I do want to build something from scratch. It's not going to be completely from scratch, obviously, because I can use, you know, game engines and stuff, but I have a project that's pretty ambitious that, you know, in order to get to there, I need to understand what the hell I'm doing. I need to understand what's going on when you make a video game, like what actually goes on. What actually makes a video game. You know, I want to understand how that works. I've never understood it my whole life. And I've wanted to, and I feel like I have the focus and the energy and the drive where I could potentially even get some employment down the line. especially with coaching. Learn Unreal 5. It's not really. I want to learn how stuff works. That's the thing. And you can't do that if everything's just click here and then this happens. I want to actually make efficient code, not just make stuff work for, you know, by just pointing and clicking. It's really kind of, not trying to insult you, but it's really ignorant to think that Unreal 5 has no code, because it's just, it does have code. It literally is all code. It's just, it's all kind of sped up for you. It's all designed for you, and you have to be able to work with code. You have to be able to make stuff work and become more efficient, and that's really what people pay people money for. They don't really pay people money to write code. They pay people money to maintain and fix code. From what I understand, every computer programmer I know, that's pretty much their entire job, is fixing other people's shit. Because people do things like just drag and drop, copy paste, make stuff work, and they don't really think about who has to work on it. They don't really think about anybody but, oh, well, I'm getting paid to do this, let me just make it work. And they don't think about, like, themselves. Like, in 5 months from now, something they did that was quote-unquote easy, now they have to spend, like, 3 months fixing it. Right? And that's a whole lot of time wasted, a whole lot of money wasted. And from what I understand, that's really what the job of a programmer is to save people time and money. No, I don't want to just make a game. I want to understand how game development works. I want to understand how I'm a computer programmer, you know, quote unquote. I know how to use, like, Linux and, like, how to compile code and all that sort of shit. I just don't know how to actually do something useful with that. I know how to use the tools, but I don't know how to make anything with it. And I want to start out with simple stuff. Like, this game is so simple. I want to start out with boxes. This is literally just all, like, lines, polygons. Like, it's literally just polygons. With Unreal, you have too many distractions for a beginner. Like, yeah, sure, I can make a game, but like, I want to make something that really works. Like, start out from simple and then add stuff. Like, you could make stuff in Unreal 5 just kind of making stuff, and then you don't really know what's going on, and then you get stuck. Because then it's like, okay, I can make Tetris, or I can make, like, some, like, point and shoot kind of thing, but how is that going to be any different than everybody else who makes a game, right? I've read books. Tutorials have always gotten me stuck, because you can't really substitute just going in there and getting your fucking hands dirty, right? It's like, how are you gonna, like, for example, I really suck at working on cars. If I really wanted to, I could get good at fixing cars, but I'm not going to get good at fixing cars by just watching a YouTube video. You have to actually get in there and get your hands dirty, right? You have to actually, like, open up the hood and look at shit and see how it works. And yeah, you could use a YouTube video to make that, you know, less of a headache, but you have to actually still do it. You can't just read about it. And I feel like the same thing goes with computer programming. You have to actually do something. You have to actually go in there and make shit work. And there's I've read a lot of books. I've read a lot of tutorials. I've watched a lot of videos. How to use Unity in 2023. How to learn C++ in 24 hours. Like, all that shit. It's really, like, easy to get stuck in that mindset that you can just watch a video tutorial and learn, but it's like, you're not gonna know anything. You're not gonna know how to apply it. You have to actually go in there and just make a fucking box like this. Like, you just have to make shit move around. Like the person who designed this game did. You have to actually make shit do stuff. And it starts out with just putting, like, making, like, a screen window pop up. Like, just getting something to run. And then, you know, it takes time, and it takes, like, a lot of iteration. Can you make a box that moves around? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like that's actually what I'm trying to figure out. From what I understand, you gotta understand, you gotta read a lot of code, and I'm trying to understand what this code is doing. So this is a main Lua file, and it just kind of puts all the stuff that's loaded, like all the requirements. And I kind of have to understand how some of these work. Most likely the, I'm using, I need to actually learn how to make stuff actually be drawn on the screen. And so I'm going through this, you know, documentation to understand, like, what all the different, options you have. I'm trying to do a survey of code right now. Trying to learn this Love game engine. It's just a framework to make 2D games in Lua. It's really straightforward. It's cross-platform. Open source, and I can use it for commercial purposes without limitations. So this game is actually like $2 on Steam. You know, obviously if you just download the code, you can play the game for free. But you know, not everybody knows how to do that. So, you know, I had to do some extra steps to get it for free. I had to download the code and run it. I had to figure out how to actually execute it. And you know, so you have to run it in PowerShell to actually run the code. And I had to copy paste this shit. I had to change it to the version of Love that actually comes with, because this uses an older version. This uses 0.10.2 Super Toast. Where's the version information? Yeah, and you know, you have to have all the dependencies. So, you know, I didn't have to pay for the game because it's available for free. It has a, it's under the MIT license, so by A327X, a 7X. I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. I'm just gonna call them a 7X. I think his name's a 7X. A 7X. So if 7X made this game, yeah, so it's just a basic copyright. Permission is hereby granted free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of this software to associate documentation files to deal in the software without restriction, including without limitation the rights to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute. I could actually sell this if I wanted to. I wouldn't. I think the person got a Steam license, so that's separate. So I wouldn't be able to do that on Steam. But if I wanted to, I could steal this and sell it. I'm not gonna do that. Let's see, yeah, these are all the defaults, global values. I've studied C++ before, I've taken a class, I've studied Python, I took a class. I've read giant tome textbooks and gotten like maybe 3 or 4 chapters in, or 7 chapters in sometimes. I've never actually finished reading through one of those giant textbooks. It's really hard because I don't really think it teaches you anything. I think it makes you feel like you're learning. But honestly, what I'm doing right now is how everybody actually learns. I mean, think about it. Like, when you learn something, somebody can tell you how to do it. But you have to actually go... Oh, I can actually hack the game here. This is where I can hack the game. Let's see. My neutral attack. If I just change this to 0.01, let's go. Yeah. This is now like the best weapon. I just hacked the game. How would you know if I never finished it? Exactly, I wouldn't, but if I get discouraged all the time, then I need to take a different approach. I need to just sit down and just do shit. And, you know, what better way to do that than on stream, right? It takes time. I just hacked the game. What if I do 0? What does it do? Okay. This is... Double, triple, rapid spread, backside, homing, blast, spin, bounce, lightning, flame, 2-split, 4-split, explode, and laser. And these are just variables for how they work. Now, how do they actually attack? How do they actually work? Okay. This is just how they spawn? Okay. Ammo. It's just collectible ammo. These are objects. Projectile, here we go. Okay, RGB shift. Homing has to add a special function to home onto other objects. Okay. Target off screen. Tutorial. Let's see, stage. Okay. Get info text position. Yeah, and you're right. How would I know if I never finished it? But I've tried that. I'm going to do a different approach this time. I'm just going to look through code, read code, try to understand code, and modify code. Because that's what people do when they work as a programmer. Why not just dive right in like everybody suggests you to do? Everybody who's a professional programmer that I've heard just says start reading code and start working with code. Start making things work. Start changing things. That's pretty much every single piece of advice I've had from professional programmers who do it for a living. They don't, most people say, you know, obviously if you enjoy reading a textbook, then do it, but most people say just don't do tutorials. Most people I've heard throughout all time that has talked about how to learn how to program is just start working with it. Don't wait until you're ready to work on it. Just work on it, because that's how you become ready. You're never going to be ready if you just work on tutorials. You're going to like do hello world type programs, which everybody does, which I've done before. You can learn how to compile shit or how to run shit, but it's like you're just copy pasting basically. Like you learn stuff, but like there's a limit. I need to spend like months just working on a project, and so I'm gonna try to fix the problems that are in this game, because there's some problems I've noticed. I'm just gonna try to fix it, specifically with the skill tree. There's some issues with the skill tree I see. As I explained in my to-do, there needs to be a quick reset, because basically what happens, I forgot to put this down. Deleting nodes. Deleting nodes. Nodes. Confirmation. Delete nodes. Confirmation needs to be added, so you don't accidentally delete a node for no reason, as you don't get the points back. Yeah, so there's like a lack of confirmation. There's a lack of information displayed. It's really kind of seemingly basic stuff, but I need to know how it works so I can do that. So now I have a quest. And I'm basically just finding quests for myself, and I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna solve these problems just one at a time. But I'm stupid, and so it might take me a while. Maybe I'm not gonna be stupid someday. But right now I'm really stupid. I have no idea how this engine works. So I have to learn it, and so I have to learn it by working with it. And I think this is a perfect project for me, because it's such a straightforward game. You know, because the passive skill tree has a lot to be desired. And it's supposed to be the main focus of this game. I don't want increased movement speed. Yeah, and see, like, and also, I don't understand. It's not, now it's not letting me delete stuff. Like, what is going on with that? Now it's not even working. Now it's not even letting me delete stuff. Oh, now I can delete it. How come I couldn't delete stuff before? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you can delete some things, and you can't delete other things. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it needs to be overhauled. It just does. How would you know if you... Oh, okay. Okay, it looks like this is supposedly already coded in, but why is it not loading? So it says if it's greater than or equal to 80, then unlock achievement reroll skills. Resetting skill tree. Is that in the menu? You can't actually do it in the skill tree itself? So reroll all 80 points. How do you re-roll? Oh, is there a console? Oh, no. So there is an achievement, but there's no actual way to do it. Okay, I'm starting to get onto something, but it's been 2.5 hours. I need to go. If you go too long, I'm just gonna make myself miserable. So, I think 2.5 hours looking at code, thinking at code, that's a win. And it's important to recognize it as a win because otherwise it will burn out and I will quit. It's really important. Just think about things in a long-term, like, little bits and pieces every day. That's really important because otherwise I'm gonna fail, and I know I will. So stop dismissing my progress, because I do that all the fucking time. I need to stop that. I need to stop dismissing things as, oh well, I didn't really do anything. It's like, yeah, I did. I looked at code. I thought about code. I actually made some progress because look, now we found there is an achievement to re-roll it. So it's like this person already put it in there. But why is there no ability to do it? At least none that are very visible. And if there is a way to do it, my next goal for next session, probably tomorrow, is to locate if there is, determine if there already is this feature coded in, but not implemented. Because it might already be coded in, and I just need to implement it. Because it doesn't seem to exist. There seems to be an achievement for it. All the pieces are there, because there are bot node indexes. There is a, let's see. I think this is just for drawing it. Let's see, the info text. Yeah, this is just making it visible. I need to find... Okay, here we go. Current room... Skill points to buy. There might be some issue with this. Because if it's less than or equal to 0, there seems to be some weird issue. Or less than, if it's less than or equal to 0. Let me just switch it to less than 0. And not really sure. Yeah, so we basically need to just go through stuff. And just, I'm still surveying the code. It's probably going to take a week or two just for me to understand how this code is organized. From what I understand, that's what most people do whenever they get a new project. You just kind of do a code survey. You just kind of go over the project, how the project is organized, how everything is utilized. Honestly, I think just looking through it and just kind of seeing how it all works, I think I'm doing it right. I mean, eventually things are just going to start clicking. I'm already starting to get like little arrows like pointing to things now, like in my head. Like now I can start to see like, okay, like there is a bot node index. So I need to investigate every implementation of that until I find out. See, here's a tutorial for the tree. Here we go. Yeah, this is the tutorial for the tree. So I'm going to have to figure out how this works. We might have to get out MS Paint. You know, that's... well, I use Paint Tool Psi, but that's for another time. Yeah, these are just... This is a headache. That's what computer programming is. It's a headache. So it'll just take time. Anyway, see ya.